Hello and welcome to Matt Loves Eurovision. It's my Eurovision 2024 Top 37 countdown. It's place number 29, Germany, Isaak, always on the run. Please do click on the subscribe button, ring that notification bell, like, share and comment below. And remember the link to the music video of this artist and also the blog post of this review can be found in the description. So we come to our first big five country in my countdown, the first of the automatic qualifiers, and it is Germany. Now, while the UK has had somewhat of a rough time in recent years in Eurovision, perhaps Sam Ryder accepting, spare a thought for poor Germany that since 2015 they have either come last or second from last every single year, apart from 2018 when they finished in fourth place, and that happened to be with a song that I couldn't stand and still don't like. Even the spectacular stage show from Lord of the Lost last year with Blood and Glitter didn't prevent another last place, the second consecutive last place for them. Is there any way that this year's entry, Always on the Run by Isaak, can avoid that same fate? Now, Isaak is a singer-songwriter. He's featured in a couple of TV talent shows in his time. He won one recently, which was called Show Your Talent. He's also had a top 10 hit in the German charts in 2022. That was in collaboration with German DJ David Puentz. He's one of the co-writers of his song, Always on the Run. And it was a bit of an unexpected win on the German national final. Although I say unexpectedly, it actually won pretty convincingly. It won the juries, the international juries, but it also won the public vote. And the public on the German national final can vote all week. They can vote through a number of means as well. And he won that convincingly. Now, the big fan favourite, which was a very lovely ballad, which I think people were expecting to win, did not do so well with the juries and did not beat Isaak in the televote and came third overall. So Always on the Run had a convincing victory in the German national final. The song is, I have to say, is very pleasant and easy to listen to. It's mid-tempo, catchy, well sung, inoffensive and uncontroversial. Now, some people I noticed were sort of comparing Isaak and the song to Michael Rice and Bigger Than Us, which was the UK entry in 2019. And I can see why they made some of those comparisons, but I think actually Isaac's song is stronger and it's overall a more appealing entry. What it is not is especially groundbreaking, and it does rather fall into that kind of mid kind of category, pleasant pop songs that Germany and also the UK, to that matter, have had the tendency to send in recent years. Now, being a big five country, we don't really need to talk about qualification because they are already in the final. We can move on to looking at the chances that they have in the final. Now, with Germany, and to an extent as we do with the UK, it's often more a question of whether they will finish in last place as opposed to whether they will win. And were this to finish last, it would be a hat-trick of last places for Germany, and I'm sure they would love to avoid that. I do think his his vocal has potential of picking up some jury points. I do think some of the staging is going to need to be a bit more impressive than certainly the German national final staging. Well, there was no staging, so we don't really know how it's going to look. But there's certainly some potential for jury points there. Televote, I think, is a bigger ask, a trickier ask. Not because it's a bad song per se. It's just that sort of classic, decent song that won't attract enough people to actively vote for it. He's half Icelandic though, so you never know. Perhaps he can pick up a few points from Iceland in the public vote. So as I say, I think there is a path for this not to finish last, given that there are songs that will be in the final that will be less favourable to juries. But it's whether or not that jury vote will be enough to keep him ahead if those low-scoring jury songs get bigger televote points. And whether or not he can accrue any or some televote points. And again, I do think how it's staged will help or could hinder those televote points. I still don't think this is going to get a lot of televote points at all. So there is a path for it not to finish last. However, I suspect it won't be enough to avoid another bottom five finish. And I'm not saying that because I dislike him or the song. That is just the way these things work. And as I say, he's a good singer and the song is decent, but that's just the way that the voting goes in Eurovision, and that those finishing in the bottom 2 or 3 places may well very not have the worst songs. They may actually be decent singers and decent songs, and you get songs that are less worthy, thinking of Poland last year, can finish higher. But that's just the way that the voting system works. It's just an unfortunate fact of that life. But what do you think of the song? What do you think of its chances? Of course, as always, do let me know in the comments and join me again as we carry on with the countdown. Take care.